Check out this video here. Shocking footage shows dozens of migrants scaling the border wall in San Diego, a city already overwhelmed by the influx, with an estimated 7,800 migrants arriving in just the last 2 weeks. Bill Wells is the mayor of El Cajon, California, which is a suburb of San Diego. He's been documenting mass migrant drop-offs in his community, and he joins us now. Mayor Wells, good morning to you. Tell us what you're seeing in El Cajon.
Good morning. You know, El Cajon itself is not getting quite as many as we're seeing in San Diego County. San Diego County is getting about 600 a day dropped off, but that doesn't count how many people, like you had just saw, were scaling the walls. So it's a pretty big influx that we've seen lately. And my friends of the Border Patrol tell me that the cartels have been really shifting a lot of the traffic from the Arizona and Texas border over to the California border, and we're not really sure why.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so this problem could even get worse for you. And I understand that Border Patrol is dropping off migrants at a transit center in your community, where I guess they'll take the bus or a train to other locations. And this has become a big issue for you guys. So tell us why.
Well, we don't really know why. I was speaking to somebody at a think tank on immigration recently, and they told me there's a place in Venezuela called the Darien Pass. And that place usually sees about 10,000 migrants a year come through there. Last month, they said there were 85,000, and this month they expect almost 200,000. And they say many of those are going to be ending up on our border. So, yeah, we do expect it to get worse. It's been a little unknown. We haven't gotten much information from the federal or state government. Really, we find out an hour or so before it happens, or maybe sometimes after it happens. But we don't get a lot of pre-warning about who's going to come and how many are going to be dropped off.
Yeah, and the Darien Pass is one of the most dangerous areas in the world, and it's getting so much foot traffic right now because of all these migrants coming into the United States. You mentioned Venezuelan migrants, and President Biden just issued about 500,000 work visas for folks in Venezuela. And former mayor of New York City, Mike Bloomberg, he just wrote an op-ed praising that decision by the president. He says it's taking a step forward on the migrant crisis. He wrote, by granting temporary protected status to Venezuelans, which comes with automatic work authorizations, Biden is freeing them to work, contribute to local economies, and earn enough money to house and care for themselves and their families. It is a critical first step in the right direction, and I applaud him for taking it. What do you think about that? Do you think he's right?
You know, I keep hearing this fantasy that this is going to be a good thing for us, that we've seen 7 million people come across the border since President Biden took office. I don't see how it's possibly going to be a good thing for us. You know, again, I talk to people on the Border Patrol who tell me about 90% of the people that are coming across the border are single military-age males. We don't know who they are. We don't know why they're here. We do know that they're from countries like Somalia and from the Middle East and from China, and places that are avowed to be our enemies. So, you know, as the mayor of a city, I can tell you I'm very nervous about the protection of my people that live in El Cajon because we don't know who's coming and we don't know what their intentions are. And I think that this could only be a recipe for disaster. And, you know, if you think somehow this makes it better for our car washes and restaurants and hotels, it seems like a fantasy to me.
Yeah, I was reading that there are signs in San Diego County that are telling migrants what to do, where to go, and they're written not just in Spanish, they're also written in Urdu, Mandarin, French, Turkish, Arabic. Yep. So it's not just folks coming from South America, it's people all over the world, and you're right to be concerned about this being a homeland security issue. Mayor Wells, thank you so much for joining us this morning all the way in California. Early morning for you. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.